Alright guys, today's video we're going to be talking about how to fight mental fatigue. And the reason why I'm making this particular video is because I had one of my subscribers ask me a question, and I'll go ahead and read it. His name's Eric Spencer. Eric, great question for sure. He said, I signed up for my first marathon in April, but lately I've been having a hard time being mentally zoned in while I'm on my runs. Do you ever experience mental fatigue during a training block, and what do you do to get through it? And again, great question, Eric. Yes, I have experienced that over the years many times, especially when I was with the Army World Class Athlete Program. I mean, there was a lot of pressure, and obviously all of our race performances were always scrutinized, no matter how good we raced, and that is to be expected. I mean, because you're trying to make an Olympic team or make a world championship team. Even over the years when I was in high school and in college competing, I did experience mental fatigue, but there are ways around that, and there are things that I did. Provide 7 specific areas to really look at, to really pay attention to when you're out training and you start to feel like you're just don't feel like you have it on that day. The first tip: remember what you're fighting for, because regardless of what you guys are doing, or what sport or what specific event you're participating in or preparing for, you're going to have challenges. There's going to be tough times. There's going to be days where you do not want to go out for a second run, or you don't have the training partners to prepare with. Over the years, I didn't have training partners to be on the track with, so I always what motivated me to continue to train hard was the fact that I was trying to go after specific goals that I had set for myself, and I was going to do it no matter what, regardless of what it took. You have to rely on your work ethic and your drive and motivation, because there are days you're going to have mental fatigue, and a lot of it stems from a lot of different things, and I'll cover a few of those things, but you have to remember what you're fighting for and know that what you're doing is going to be challenging. It's going to test your limits physically and mentally. There are days where you're just not going to have it. You're not going to be hitting the splits, or you had a planned pace you wanted to hit for your tempo run, or you were trying to hit specific splits on the track, and it just wasn't clicking. Sometimes the best thing you can do is really to take a break, and that's the second tip. Take a break for a few days. You're not going to lose any fitness whatsoever if you're feeling like trash on one day. Give yourself 2 or 3 days of easy jogging. If you had a track session or a tempo run scheduled for the day after that particular run that you're talking about, and you were out running and you just mentally were just tired and just weren't feeling it, jog for a few days. Sometimes that's the best remedy. You really need to back off, or your body just simply hasn't recovered from the other workouts that you've been throwing at it. And that's the reason why I always stress in my other videos and in the courses and in the training programs, recovery. I've also revamped all of the training programs where I'm alternating. Every 3 weeks, I'm going to provide a recovery week. So again, it's not just the hard anaerobic workouts we talk about that's critical for success. It's jogging and recovering from the hard workouts you're doing. And like I said, there will be mental fatigue. That's part of the process in middle to long distance running success. There's going to be good days where you're going to be hitting everything. You're going to be flying. And then there's going to be other days you're going to be second guessing yourself. You're going to be wondering what the heck's going on. Am I running enough, or am I running too slow, or what am I doing that's causing this issue? So this particular question definitely hit home for me, because over the years I also was questioning why I was feeling bad on certain runs and just couldn't get it together. And really, at the end of the day, that was the main reason. I just needed more rest. I needed some recovery time. When all you're doing is focusing so much on your specific goal, and where running is really all you seem to think about. Now, this isn't every athlete. Some athletes are just wanting to be fit, care about general fitness, but there are other athletes that are going after specific times. They're a little bit more revved up and excited about specific times they want to hit for a specific event. And the overload of thinking about it and wondering, thinking about your workout that you're going to do the next day can sometimes cause that mental fatigue. So taking a break is really key. If you're feeling like crap, give yourself some time. You can take off a complete week, a whole week of training, and not lose any fitness whatsoever. This is why it's difficult sometimes for athletes to really just chill out and take a break, and that's sometimes what you really need, especially if you're experiencing mental fatigue. Next tip: watch your sleep. Maybe you needed more rest. Again, it takes, after a hard workout, I prefer giving athletes at least 24, but preferably 48 hours to up to 3 days worth of recovery time before you hit another hard workout. But if you're doing all these hard anaerobic workouts and you're doing the long runs and you're not paying attention to proper sleep, now I'm not saying this is what your issue is, Eric, but for athletes that are experiencing mental fatigue, a big reason too can be just not only you need a break, but you also need to get a little bit more sleep. Focusing on, as athletes, everybody works differently, but for me, I needed a minimum of 8 hours of sleep, preferably 10 hours of sleep when I was training for the marathon. Sleep is absolutely critical, and again, it's a combination of a lot of different things that you have to do right in order to succeed in middle to long distance running. If you're trying to hit a specific race time, it's not just the specific workouts that you have to do in training far below goal race pace and at race pace, and also much slower than race pace, like we talk about in the easy days where you're just literally just jogging. So sleep is critical. Focus on making sure that you're staying as disciplined as you can on your sleep as well, and your rest recoveries as you are on the track and on the roads and doing those hard anaerobic workouts. That will go a long way for your success. Next tip is a lot of times athletes can, if you're just mentally out of it or you're feeling fatigued, a lot of reason is you're running low on a mineral or some kind of nutrient. I have a sister site called nutritiongeeks.com. It's below. I'll leave a link below this video, where I've used Herbalife products for years, and highly recommend them. But that being said, if you're running low on zinc, iron, vitamin D, and vitamin C, those four particular vitamins are absolutely essential for keeping your immune system strong and keeping your iron levels up. You want to make sure when you're sweating and when there's something called foot strike hemolysis as well. When your foot strikes the ground, each time it strikes the ground, it's bursting red blood cells. So that's another reason why you can easily become anemic. A lot of athletes don't know this. I didn't know it. Back in 2007, I was diagnosed with anemia, had extremely low levels of ferritin, which is a component of iron. If you're running low on iron or ferritin, it's very difficult for your cells to have, for that oxygen delivery capacity to be delivered to your cells to be working optimally. So you want to make sure you're paying attention to your iron levels, vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc. Those are all very, very important for immune system strength. And if you, like I said, if you're having too many days of feeling fatigued, mentally fatigued as well as physically fatigued, start taking a multivitamin or focusing on those, especially those four. And again, always consult a physician. I'm not a physician or anything of that, but I do have background in regards to these particular areas. So definitely focus on those as well. The next tip is if you're out on a training run and it's a hard run and you're mentally just kind of zoning out, start thinking about think about something else that's going to motivate you while you're running, whether that's your spouse or a goal that you have in mind, or focus on something else as the best you can while you're doing that particular workout. I did that over the years many times during my harder long runs. Those were, like I said, the long run was for me the most difficult workout I did. Not mile repeats, not repeat 600s, repeat Ks, none of that. It was always the long run, the harder long run, not the easy long run, the hard one. Sometimes just backing off will help and kind of re-energize you while you're doing your workout. And the next one is to pick up the pace, vary up the pace of your run. If you're kind of just feeling like you're stalling out, speed up throw a few surges in your run and kind of mix up the training a little bit. That'll kind of juggle your mindset a little bit to kind of re-energize you. I think sometimes we just need to slow down for a few miles at times, and then times where we're going too slow for too many miles and we need to speed up a little bit, and that'll kind of re-energize you as well. So the question is, do you ever experience mental fatigue during a training block? Absolutely. Over the years, I've experienced it many times, Eric, and I've always tried to continue to, really focus on those 7 specific tips when I was training heavily for the 5K up to the marathon, especially the marathon distance, where you need to really zero in on getting through the workouts the best you can, and know that what you're doing is challenging. It's going to test you. It's going to test your limits physically and mentally. But again, the critical piece of all of this is rest and recovery. You need to make sure that you're getting enough sleep, that you're jogging on your easy days. Totally disregard pace on easy days. It doesn't matter how slow you're running. You could be a sub 2:30 marathoner and go out and be running 10 to 12 minute mile pace on your easy days. It doesn't matter how fast you're running on those easy days. You need to chill out and allow yourself time to recover. That way, when you get to the hard workouts, you're going to be able to bounce back because you've paid attention, and you've paid attention to recovery, and you're training smarter rather than harder. Again, the key thing is really to use leverage. Pay attention to your hydration, continue to pay attention to your nutrition, and you're going to set yourself up for success. I don't know if that's answered your question, Eric. I hope it has. Again, if any of you guys and gals have any questions or concerns, anything that comes up, anything that you need help with, specific topic you want me to cover, feel free to comment below the videos. Let me know what you think about this video and what you've experienced with mental fatigue. And all of you guys too as well that have left comments that are letting me know about your races. It really fires me up to hear about what races you're focusing on and what's coming up. I got one guy who's reached out to me. He says he's running a marathon this coming weekend, going for 3:45. Good luck to you, man. Again, you do not need to go out any faster than 1:55 through that first half marathon. It's what you're doing that second half that counts. Nobody's going to win a marathon in the first half. You want to be picking people off during the latter stages of that race rather than falling apart in the last 10K of the race. So good luck to you guys, and continue to leave comments. Definitely, I love hearing from you guys. I'll always respond to you. As you all know, I do the very best I can to not miss any of them. And if I do miss them, I'll continue to go back through and make sure that I'm commenting, because that really, your support obviously helps this channel grow. And also, you leaving comments and you letting me know what's on your mind helps me provide answers to you. Because again, I have almost 3 decades of experience with this, and I know what runners experience because I've experienced them myself. I didn't have a lot of talent either, so I had to rely on my work ethic and my heart. So the same with you guys and gals. Focus on your mindset, continue to visualize success, and your subconscious mind will bring you that success. But you also have to do all the other components of what it takes to be a successful middle to long distance runner. So I hope this video has been helpful for y'all, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.